Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't like how it cuts the music off like that. I need it to kind of zone out. Welcome to UFO Twitter News Nightly. I'm your host, TeeJay Felony. March 30th, got Monday night here. We're gonna get going here. Let me go ahead and get the YouTube chat going. And got a full show planned. A lot of stuff to look over, a lot of goofy YouTube stuff. Give me 1 second here. Oh, that doesn't look right. I think I double clicked it so it looks extra long. I gotta put the URL in here real quick. There we go. That looks right. I did Control VV and it put two of them in there. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to start moving here. We'll get over to the lab. The theme of today's show is gonna be damage control. A lot of people wonder how some of these UFO Twitter gatekeepers that dominate the narrative on UFO Twitter day to day, how they are able to just kind of live on Twitter. And it is a question because you wonder, like, how do they pay their bills? How do they keep up with their life? And it seems that these guys do 90% of their life is damage control, doing damage control on the app for things they've gotten exposed for, things they've gotten criticized for, things they've gotten called out for. It's always one long chain of damage control. Going all the way back. Let's go over. We'll jump over into the lab. As you can see, I got a full docket here of things to go over. And as I was saying, the theme of this episode is going to be damage control. And that's one of the things I noticed on UFO Twitter is the only way you really are able to survive is if you got a good damage control support. And these wanker gatekeepers, man, they really have it. I mean, they got it locked down. And going back to the minute, the day I joined UFO Twitter, starting with this stuff that Tupacabra was saying over on other apps. This is what started the chain, of damage control. It's been a never-ending chain of damage control. That Tupa said all this crazy shit. Back in those days on social media on UFO Twitter is before Trump had taken office, so there were still standards and rules, kind of social decency rules. When Tupa was running around saying this crap, as you can see, it looks like it was 2021. He pulled into the community of UFO Twitter and he got called out for it. Look, slavery was a choice. Just say the N word really loudly with contempt. Blacks really respond to that kind of leadership. Stupacabra being an edgelord. And he had to do a lot of damage control for this. And during his damage control session, when he was doing his little humble apology, it's recorded over on Ufology SWAT. Some people in the community didn't buy it. King Milkfart was one of those. Klaus, that Ray. Some of these people just didn't buy it. He did this corny little apology, and when they didn't buy into his damage control, they were, targeted for cancellation because they didn't, buy into that round of damage control. That leads to what was going on just earlier today. I joined a Twitter space, and I thought I was cool with the people. We had talked. Ursula and Marie were hosting it. I thought I was cool with them. The reason I had blocked them in the past was because they always seem to set me up for these ambushes where I'll join their space and immediately the Tupa crew goons are spitting shit at me. I'm always outnumbered because all my friends have learned by now to stay out. It's Twitter, it's dominated by lunatic MAGAs, and you're talking about UFO Twitter, so you're the craziest of the crazy. And today, when I was in there, they started throwing me shit about what I've said about Logan and this mysterious hard drive. And, I could go probably the rest of my life without bringing this shit up again, but they seem to like to bring it up. And what they say is that I've accused Logan with no evidence, no reason to think this guy would be up to anything. Well, here's his mugshot for beating up a girl from UFO Twitter, and this is what started all the drama. Logan got arrested. He was hosting a space when he got arrested, was beating up this girl, got arrested. I'm going to do it quick because I got a whole episode to go over. And this is what led to this. The girl, after he was arrested, held on to his hard drive and wouldn't give it back. She threw his shit out, said, "Get the fuck away from me. I'm keeping your creepy hard drive and as collateral to keep you away, as leverage." That led to this Logan holding all these spaces with the Tupa crew. Look, this is him offering $10,000 reward in hard cash awaits the skilled sleuth able to retrieve the hard drives intact and unscathed. So, straight off the bat, is Logan trying to pay someone to go break into his ex-girlfriend's house? The girl that he beat up and went to jail for? Is that what he's doing here? Is he trying to pay someone to go break into her house? Because that's how else would you retrieve this hard drive? Right away. It's probably pretty illegal. But this is why Logan's one of the most technical savvy people in the community. There is zero reality that he wouldn't understand how the cloud works. And he says right here, they sold it to a group of people who wanted dirt on me. So I actually spoke to this girl right here, Gustagoo. One of the things she said was on the hard drive was versions of Revenge P. So what he was doing was taking girls from the community, cutting their heads off of pictures and using their voice and putting their heads on pornography and among other things, illicit materials. So when the whole community was trying to help him, cover up whatever this is all about, I took notice and I spoke about it. To this day, I get attacked over it, and what I'm saying is all these people are covering up a CP ring. It's my opinion, it's my theory, and it's based on 3 years of this type of shit. And I got one more thing to show you. I'm trying to move through it quick because I got a whole episode planned. But this is what these people use to attack me in these spaces: is they'll bring up the I made up stuff about Logan. Well, what happened was all of this, and I connected the dots. Just like Red Panda Koala connects the dots when he makes up stuff about Lou Elizondo. Like, but if I, connect some very logical dots, like why wouldn't this guy use the cloud? What could possibly be on a hard drive that's worth 10 grand other than your freedom is on that hard drive? Because if that hard drive gets in the wrong hands, you and everyone you were sharing that material with is going down. And that's why the community tried to help him. Tupa, Cabra, Red Panda Koala, Hey Ocean, they all kind of grouped together and held these spaces to try to cover up whatever is on this hard drive. Which, to this day, I say this is very strange. This is something the whole community should be asking questions about, but they're afraid to because they don't want to get, blocked out and canceled like I did. And I'm going to show one more thing. It was estimate of the situation asked me, like, well, what do you have, what reasons do you have to believe that stuff? And, yeah, I'm going to get, oh, well, actually, here, I'm going to have to pop over on X and show it. There's one more photo that I'm going to show. And this will kind of give you a reason why I think the things I do about UFO Twitter, since they just can't seem to figure it out, like what makes me think these things. It seems pretty obvious to me, but so let's see. We'll go into my replies. And right here is a space. This was a space. You can see right here, it's somber, Kimball, and you have, it was Ricky Lou, Showtime Ricky, a wanker creeping around the community for a while. All of his late night spaces were pervert talk. This is him right here. He was on a account called Kevin Sorbozo. I've noticed he's kind of went missing since I brought this to everyone's attention, but still people continue to attack me. And here they are in a space called Nudes for Dudes. And here you see a naked photo of a little boy. So, why wouldn't I think that UFO Twitter is becoming an environment that's friendly for CP weirdos? When I'm seeing this type of stuff being put out in the open with big names in UFO Twitter, space holders, Kimball, UFO intros, he's right here, Somber, his all night spaces. These were the only three people in here. And there you go. So, when I'm seeing things like this and, these mysterious hard drives, why wouldn't I think the UFO Twitter has a CP problem? And what happened is estimate of the situation in this space. It was Marie's space. I joined it. I tried to just be cool and join in with the conversation. Estimate started asking me shit like, "So you think Logan and TP? You think Logan and CP?" Blah, blah, blah." And then I gave my answer. Yeah. This is why. And they couldn't handle it. They all started attacking me at once. And Marie booted, like, she didn't boo me. I left and I blocked Marie and Ursula because they're trash. But she like blamed me. Like she specifically said, "Well, TJ, if you think something's wrong, why don't you contact the police?" Well, Marie, I'm glad you said that because I did contact a cybercrimes agency. I mentioned last week in a post that I was going to contact an online agency that investigates things like CP rings, hard drives that supposedly possibly have illicit material. I mean, we know where the hard drive most likely is. Someone can go check on it, and we'll find out. Don't worry, Marie. We'll get to the bottom of all your little buddies that share. What did Kimball call it, Marie? Weird porn? Is that the word he used? Weird porn in that recorded space? Well, what do you think weird porn would constitute as, Marie? You ignorant people, pedo protectors. Um, and Estimate was saying something about like lying. Everyone, I lie about everything. Uh, Here's Jess causes problems. Trying to get me to send her D pics. She kept telling me she loves giving blowjobs and is super horny. And when I wouldn't send her D pics back, and then I kind of got the hint of what she was doing, I contacted another guy she was doing it to, and we outed her. But everyone in this community knows what she's about. If you don't believe me, you can go ask Paranormal, and he has the exact same story. But she got D pics from him, so he might be a little less likely to talk. But everyone knows what this girl is about. There's no lying. Like, that's what's silly about all this. You want to talk about lying. So here's where Tupacabra came from, the idea for Tupacabra. Here is a drawing from Reddit, I believe, and as you can see, they even named it the Tupacabra. It's from 14 years ago. I couldn't find a podcast recording, but there's several where Tupacabra talks about how he came up with this idea. He talks about like, dude, I'm just this like creative mind. And dude, you stumbled across this picture on Reddit and you stole it. Let's talk about lying. Um, I have all that stuff about Logan, the hard drive situation, the fact that he's a convicted woman beater, the fact that UFO Shane, his own friend, said that him and Fred were engaging in CP, the fact that non-creds said that he's most likely engaging in CP. I have all these reasons. Kimball saying that they were sharing weird porn. I have Kimball and his friends inside a space sharing nudes of little kids. I have all this is my reasons. Now, these guys post this in a space. This was Psych Ward Mike, straight out the mental hospital. The guy that Red Panda Koala and Tupacabra weaponized to go after his enemies. What reason do you guys have to think I did any of this? Do I have a hard drive that I'm trying to cover up on UFO Twitter? What reasons? Like you just completely pulled this out of your butt, and the problem is you're doing it to cover up an actual CP ring. You're filth. Y'all are disgusting. Um, let's see. Here's another one. Oh, this is just TJ streams. This is, them talking about me all day in spaces. These guys are obsessed with me, and what I think happened is they spent years attacking King Milkfart, and he got it. He's done. KMF's out doing living his best life, doing his own thing, and they had to find a new target, and they just moved the target over me, and it's just wild because people that come off like decent people will play along with it just because they don't want to get it put on blast in these spaces. So here's them doxing my grandparents' church. They wanted to put my family church out there so people would call and harass it. They did it from a sock, but that's how they move. And actually, I got an episode coming up later this week where I know who Jiggy is now. Logan fucked up in a space last night and talked about it. He tried to blame Jiggy on harassing Seamus, and I knew right then Logan and Fred are running Jiggy. There was a space back when me and Lilith we used to hold spaces together. Logan was coming in with that Australian accent. And I'll find it and we'll match the clip to the Australian voice that's going at Somber in that ufology SWAT, and it's the same voice. Um, what they were doing is they were using Jiggy to dox their enemies. You look at who Jiggy doxed. Me, Gabe, Darren, Carlos. Everybody he went at was somebody the Logan or the Tupa crew were butting heads with at the time. These guys just created a sock and an alias to dox people from. And I'm talking about Red Panda Koala, Tupacabra, Psych Ward Mike, Full Stack Logan, Fred Rogers, that crew. Um, but all right, we got through all that, and yeah, we can move on to the other shit. I got, I was getting barraged by like 5 or 6 pedo protectors in that space, so I couldn't really get, my voice out and explain what I wanted to say. So I just wanted to do it real quick. But all right, we can move on now. This is another one I wanted to go over real quick. Dude, I am amazed. Nothing gets likes faster than dumping on Chase. Like, look at this. And what that is people see these bullies in the community. I haven't seen them people like a hate post so quickly, other than maybe Heather Birdie. People really like Heather Birdie hate posts fast. And what that does is it gauges the community. It lets you know what do people think about this guy. And dude, I posted this shit about Wiener Deacon. I've done a video about him, the guy that goes around getting drunk and crying one day and then threatening people the next, and then coming back apologizing and then crying again because you didn't accept his apology. And dude, look, one day that's a lot of likes for me. It's kind of depressing that one of my most popular posts is crapping on Chase. But dude, people instantly. The girls that he thinks are his friends are liking it. It's kind of crazy. I just noticed that today, how fast people like the Chase hate. All right. And one other thing I wanted to go over. This is kind of funny. I came across these on Non-Cred's on his Twitter account. And dude, I don't know why, but this shit actually sometimes bums me out. Like his really weird jokes. I mean, I know I'm weird, so I'm not one to talk. But look, why Chester Cheetos looking at me like I'm supposed to buy something off their TikTok shop? And nobody ever likes these. That's I think what makes me sad is how nobody likes the post. Like the Tupa crew, they support and retweet anything those idiots post. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's funny or not. This guy, I don't know. I feel like he lost all of his friends or something because nobody's over there liking his cringy jokes. This one's funny too. It says, "You might say I'm a snack. I'd say it's just all the dough, sauce, and cheese on me." And look, his name is William and it says Willie Yum. Get it? Yum. So it's just such a weird joke. Like, but I thought it was so. It's like a dad joke, is what I would call it. But it's always kind of sad how nobody throws non-cred some love. I feel like he's lost his friends or something. Because usually these corny jokes would get a couple likes. Oh, non-cred. All right, let's pull up the X count and start going over. What's up? We got a few people coming in. They avoided the bullshit. Good for them. It's good to avoid the bullshit. Let's get over to my bookmarks. I'm gonna go over some stuff that's been going up on Twitter. We'll talk about also the a little bit about what's going on in Iran. That shit's been getting out of control too. Let me get this opened up though, so it looks good for y'all. I need a new method. Streamlabs or whatever the fuck. There we go. I actually have quite a bit of stuff on Twitter I wanted to show, so we'll just start going down it. Dude, this was on TMZ and all over social media. Kid Rock, I don't know what the fuck these. I don't know what they were. What I think this is the Donald Trump regime, whoever, Hegseth, whoever, they sent this like chopper over to like say what's up to Kid Rock. Like that's the only thing I could get from this. And dude, that's so expensive to just task a meaningless mission. It's such a waste of money. Let's go ahead and watch it. So that's Kid Rock. And I guess he lives in a mansion that is identical to the White House. It's just a little smaller. And a helicopter, like a military, looks like a Black Hawk possibly, came over and like hovered outside his place. And look how cringy this is. He salutes it and stuff. It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. It in any other time in history, this shit probably wouldn't bother me at all. But we're on the edge of losing our Medicaid and stuff, and they're out there doing this kind of crap. It's just, it's a waste of resources. Let me make sure my link went up, guys. Give me 1 second here. Sometimes dude, the only traffic I really get is through Twitter right now, and yeah, it sucks, 'cause my my spread is always restricted, and I'll uh I'll do a whole show and I'll go back and look at my link on Twitter that I put up, and it only went to like 40 people, and it's just like, oh well, that's why nobody even knows I'm live. It's kind of, a downer. So I gotta remember to go into the group chats and stuff. Even put it on Blue Sky helps. People come over for Blue Sky and check. It's like people on Blue Sky that don't want to be on Twitter, but they still want to know what's going on. Give me 1 second. Share via Blue Sky. It's getting muggy here. All right. Let's see. Liv Morgan got ready for a date. See. Let's see. Oh yeah, Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider calling for a draft. Apparently, a lot of these Jewish celebrities are, totally with a draft popping off. And the first thing I thought of when I saw this was Well, of course, Rob Schneider, who is probably far beyond the age of conscription, would want a draft. It's not like he's gonna have to go anywhere. These photos are being leaked. I don't. They're saying they're coming from Iran, Hondala. There's a hacker group in Iran named Hondala, and they're claiming they're leaking these photos, but you just can't tell anymore what's AI and what's not. So I'm careful. Like, look, this video falsely claims. See, no such release. See, it's yeah. It's a mess. Midas Touch has been claiming Hundala was releasing videos, and they're gonna have to go back and correct that. They were showing the one of Cash Patel also. I think what's happening is their Iran is making threats to release stuff. Interstellar has a Bledsoe video here. Bledsoe makes some.
I would buy that based on
Let's go and listen to it.
and everything that is there's some things happening in Egypt this year that I have to keep confidential, but I've heard rumor that there are more than one thing happening. So there's two or three things happening simultaneously that's going to be revealed this year.
Two or three things
that may change the history of humanity.
I would buy that based on what I've been seeing in the celestial alignments. I think you're right.
Yeah. Well, I am. I mean, I've been approached more than one person on two different projects, all involved with the Egyptian government. And so,
ooh, Egypt. That's interesting because I know they've been talking about the Sphinx, possibly there being another Sphinx. And yeah, that would be cool. That would be totally cool if they discovered another Sphinx. That's the only rumor I heard as far as coming out of Egypt was that there was possibly a second Sphinx.
they have something they're going to reveal, and I have an idea what it is, but it's not one thing; it's more than one.
Yeah.
So it's all coming this year. It's crazy.
The age of disclosure,
and everything that is there's some.
All right, let's see. Oh, Wilcock. Yeah, we got a clip for Wilcock too. Let's play that.
And that's how this started. And so, in modern times, we can think that.
This is funny, dude.
So
one thing that just blows my mind about these ufology guys is how they speak in facts. Listen to how he speaks.
There was a divine conception. There was an immaculate conception. And that's how this started. And so, in modern times, we can think, well, yeah, maybe that was some type of genetic procedure or something that happened. It could have been energetic, some type of angelic technology. But the point is, she did not get pregnant from her husband. She was pregnant from the actual divine conception.
Absolutely, Wilcock.
And so,
praise Jesus.
What we have, though, is a person who appears mortal in terms of his physical body, but then he achieves immortality through crucifixion, resurrection. It's a very, very interesting concept. So
Wilcock. Everything Wilcock does is interesting. Oh, this video, bro. This video caught me off guard. Check this shit out.
Because it's incredible. Yeah. Because I just want you to share some of these experiences so that I can include your footage because it's incredible.
Yeah, let's go with the jellies first.
If this footage isn't doctored, this is a Skywatcher guy. If it's not doctored, if this is like real footage, it's pretty good, man. Check this shit out.
Not know they existed until Skywatcher. Skywatcher reacted to the jellyfish with a lot of fear. And when it would come in, we all had to go inside, shut the doors, go inside. And I'm thinking, if this is an all-powerful jellyfish...
That's interesting. It said when the jellyfish would show up, it was different. There were like different protocols for dealing with them. They were handled as being more, dangerous or possibly harmful to humans.
NHI. How are we any safer inside huddling like rats rather than outside calling out through love? So I was fighting them hard on that, and so were the neuroscientists saying you need to let them do what they want to do.
It was just a social experiment to see if everybody would listen. It's
I
so
know,
stupid.
right? Just so elaborate for that, but
Bro, she's got some Botox going on, huh?
no, every time the jellyfish would come in, and they only gave credit to the dog whistle. And J2 was upset about that because he told them, I've experienced the jelly before this event, and I'm pinging it in as well.
Pinging it in. That means like meditating and concentrating and trying to get it to come visit. It's called pinging.
It's not just this technology. So what's important about the jelly is that a few weeks later, after
This guy's kind of a dork, but the video is actually really cool.
I became aware that it exists, I'm meditating in a park with my little brother for 5 minutes. We just off the cuff said, hey, let's just call out, not even meditating, just calling out for 5 minutes, getting into a good zone. And then we look up, and there are these floating white spheres that are emanating light. And my little brother has the top 1% of 1% vision possible. He's called Eagle Eye as a kid. Every doctor ever has told him he should be a pilot. He can see beyond beyond my comprehension. And
Wait till you see the video. It's actually really good.
he said he could see these white spheres flashing green, flashing red, going back to white, so flashing different colors.
Look, it zooms in a little bit. You can see the tentacles hanging off it. Like, it's a legit jellyfish UFO.
Along with these
Look at that
plasma
shit.
tails. So we're looking up, and I say on video, are those jellies? Are those the jellies? And he's like, I got them on video too. And they were so high up. But it was just really interesting how there was a slight hitchhiker effect where at Skywatcher they were there. A few weeks later, I'm doing a meditation with my little brother, and they're there now in our sky across the country. And so we film them. I send it to James Fowler's friend, Pro Pixel, named Billy on X. And then he really analyzes them, and he's like, these are legitimate jellies. That he was the guy.
I want to see the photos, the video again.
Plasma tails. So we're looking up.
Dude, those are some good videos. Those are some of the better ones I've seen of the jellyfish things.
And I say on video,
But, I mean, from that distance, it could be anything, right?
are those jellies? Are those the jellies? And he's like, I got them on video too. And
yeah, more bullshit about Iran. This is the No Kings protest. These things were massive all over the fucking country. London even had one. MAGA's trying to say that that everyone was paid to be there. My mom in her reading group went, yeah, none of them were paid to be there. Jelly Roll was back in WWE. We might do another thing on that. If I get to it. There's an interesting video. Another one from Interstellar. Dude, that guy's channel is really good.
Bingo Delta.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
After a dramatic landing on Mars, NASA's Perseverance rover is looking for signs of ancient life, either primitive forms of bacteria or strands of DNA. To get its bearings, it takes a panorama of 4 images, and in the 3rd frame, it snaps this.
What is that shit? That's on Mars, by the way. So it can't be like a bird or satellite or whatever. That's a rover from Mars. What is that shit?
A bizarre object appears suspended over
It's weird, man.
the Martian surface. Zoom in, and it's clearly something thin and elongated, seemingly out of place. March 2020.
New Bigfoot photos. I think it looks silly as fuck, but it actually looks almost like this one looks more like a suit than the Patterson film. But new Bigfoot photos. Don't know if anybody's into Bigfoot. Let's see. Neil. Oh yeah, Neil. My buddy Neil posted the JD Vance thing, so we'll go ahead and listen to it.
National security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice.
You gonna release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. and then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? I mean, like,
So I actually haven't. I
the
have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this.
Any of these Christian MAGAs, they lean towards the demon thing.
To really understand it.
Angels and demons.
I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51.
Wait, how are you obsessed with this, but you haven't looked into it yet? Like, how does that make sense?
We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. You're going to.
Yeah, I got full faith in you, mascara. Here's fucking Elon in his weird haircut and his clone. Yeah, it's crazy that a guy with anything you could ever want on the planet can't get a decent haircut. That is strange, right? You know what it makes me think is that he doesn't like people touching him or something. So he's having like, a buddy or like his girlfriend or his clone do it for him or something. That was the only thing I could come up with. He doesn't like people touching him or doesn't trust anyone around him. So he's having some wackadoo cut his hair. Let's see. Oh yeah. I think this was it. Yeah, this is the video I saw that I thought was really cool too. Again, AI in the age of AI, there's no way to tell. But this guy gets a T3B on video here. Look at this. It's in a thunderstorm. It's like a perfect T3B. Look at that. I really like this video. It's going in and out of the clouds. But yeah, that's one that I would probably, if that's not AI, the T3Bs I've always assumed were man-made. The one, Phoenix Lights one, that's kind of what it looks like, but it's a pretty good video. I forgot to show this. I came across this during my Ashton Forbes episode. Here is what he was doxing and threatening this man's family. It was Professor Dave said, "That's a lot to loss, grifter piece of shit. Don't worry, I'll take good care of her when you're gone." That's what this creep said, and he posted pictures of the guy's kids. Also, I saw this from Klaus.
Did UFO Shane tell to the community and me in a DM that you doxed him? According to you, that's your rhetoric, not mine. That you posted his mugshots multiple times, not once, but multiple times.
So here we are again. UFO Shane, when he gets mad at these guys, he starts being honest. And he's talking about how Red Panda was the one that doxed him. And Klaus is here saying, well, Panda's accused me of that for years. And here's the truth coming out from inside their own friend group. You keep that in mind, It's always there. When you hear it from their own friend group, they're telling on each other.
No. So then, okay, all right, fair. Then why did UFO Shane tell to the community and me in a DM that you doxed him? According to you, that's
also, why did UFO Shane say the Logan and Fred Rogers are engaging in CP? This UFO Shane guy seems to be saying a lot of things about y'all. And then you guys are in a space like circle jerking together. It's kind of weird.
That's your rhetoric, not mine. That you posted his mugshots multiple times, not once, but multiple times. So according to you,
so Panda posted Shane's mugshots multiple times. That's another thing they've attacked me over. Panda does it too.
Doxed your own friend, and then you framed me that I doxed Kyle Peak first, and you never mentioned the part where I was solely and entirely convinced that he had swatted me. You never mentioned that.
And you were wrong on that. That doesn't make it okay that you did it.
So this is I'm glad I came across this. Seamus was the one that was in a Logan space last night, and he was talking about this very doxing. Some guy named Kyle Peak or some shit. I'm unaware of the guy. Full Spank Logan, I have it recorded, by the way. Tried telling Seamus that it was Jiggy that did it. Oh, it's probably that Jiggy guy. You should go check that Jiggy guy. I bet it's Jiggy. Right then, that told me that these guys created Jiggy. He's a fall guy. Well, you know, the usual suspect. Kaiser Soze. He's a nobody. The same thing they did with the monologue scam. They created Stephen Austin. I think it's Fred Rogers creating a lot of these imaginary characters. And then they blame everything on them. Jiggy read around doxing all their enemies for them, posting, you know, my family church and stuff. And then they stay clean. Their hands stay clean.
You're wrong. Like, if you're wrong, like, if I posted Gabe's full address because I thought he fucking swatted me and he didn't, that doesn't make it okay.
But I never.
That's very true, Panda. Retaliation doxing is not okay. So why did you guys post an arrest report from when I was 12 years old? That's a very good question, Panda.
Posted anyone's address, bro. And what you could
He posted their full name, and if they Googled that shit, they could have found it right away, and that's why he was freaking out.
Bro, you cannot access someone's personal records from a public record.
I talked to Kyle when it was all happening, and I actually was the one who walked him off taking your shit down.
Yeah, that's
I think we're gonna go, Jonathan. I can tell what the space is gonna be.
He talked Kyle through it. Why is this little wanker at the heart of all this drama? Don't you all ever wonder that? He brags about learning from Keemstar how to harvest drama, and then he harvests drama in front of all y'all, and you act like there's nothing strange going on.
I'm not going to give you exactly what you want spoon-fed. I'm going to treat you with respect and tell you exactly how I view the situation.
All right.
And not just coddle you. All right? So I have a bunch of shit to do. It's a busy week. I'll catch you.
Cowardly run away, bro. That's fine. That's fine.
That's what they do, man. When you start asking questions, they either attack you as a group or they run away. Let's see. Oh, I think I'm near the end. Yeah, we should probably drop over to YouTube now. Here's Lindsey Graham, though. Let's see what he has going on. He's in his hometown, by the way.
Welcome to Pickett.
Oh!
Thank y'all for coming. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at all those MAGA hats booing him.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, you want to find something common?
Oh, it's so bad, bro. This is happening to all these MAGA politicians, and this is his home state. I almost feel bad for him. Almost, but then I don't. They could have all done a Marjorie Taylor Greene and got out while they had the chance. They didn't. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to be beloved, and they're all going to fall in disgrace. It's going to be glorious to watch, too. All right, we got
5 or 6 years
we got
ago,
our main
I say
story
I'm still
here.
deconstructing because I honestly think
This is actually a really crazy story. Actually, before we get into that, I wanted to go over a little bit of the war in Iran shit. Give me 1 second to find what videos I was gonna do. Okay. Yeah, this is the biggest news that is going on, and it seems to be developing as we
Donald Trump's
go.
health is collapsing. I mean, just look at him right here. His mental and physical health and complete paranoia has taken over during the war, and Iran knows it. Iran is making videos playing on Donald Trump's paranoia.
I don't know if you've seen it, but Iran has been making these Lego AI videos where they're just clowning on the Trump regime, making the United States look goofy as
to
fuck.
try to taunt and haunt and mock him. I want to give you some examples of Donald Trump physically and mentally deteriorating before our eyes, and specifically talking about how he fears he's going to get hit by a drone and how he needs an underground bunker immediately.
So you remember all the talk about the ballroom? Well, today on Air Force One, Trump spilt the beans on what that's all about.
Do you remember about 9 months or so ago, I was saying the real reason that he was building this ballroom? Remember what I said? I said the ballroom is but a shed, and what the real thing that he's doing is he's building a bunker underneath because he is terrified of the people and he is terrified of everything. That was back then. Donald Trump used
Just another thing Ben was absolutely right about. It's not about the ballroom. The ballroom's just a cover. It's about the bunker underneath the ballroom.
those exact words, that it was a shed, the ballroom, in order to cover up what was really taking place, a massive military installation and bunker. Now, aboard Air Force One, as Donald Trump was heading back from his taxpayer-funded vacation, yet again in his safe space in Florida, he talked about what the real reason is that he's building a ballroom. He's like, it's going to have windows that are going to prevent drones, and we can go underneath, and this way nobody can get me.
Which is insane. Absolutely insane that you would spend all this money on a bunker and then to give all the details of it. Like, tell exactly where it is. Like, dude, it took us years to find where the Fuhrer bunker was located, Hitler's hideout, and Trump just told the entire planet as they're building it, the location of it, which is just, it's so crazy. You're putting future presidents in danger by doing that shit. Keep your mouth shut, you idiot.
So as America right now is been hoisted into this unlawful war by Donald Trump, this is what he's talking about.
Because to be honest, at this point in human history, a bunker, an updated bunker system for the United States president, it probably isn't that bad of an idea, just to be honest. But the way he just tells everyone, it's funny.
About the ballroom, but the bunker underneath as well, to protect him from getting hit by drones. Here's what he says. The military building underneath is massive. He goes, and this stupid lawsuit exposed what I was really doing. The ballroom is a shed. Here's what he said aboard Air Force One. Let's play this clip.
There's not one dime of government money going into the ballroom. Now the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which...
See, right there already, I believe that's a lie. If the military is building, that's probably the Army Corps of Engineers, and taxpayer money funds that.
Has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed, but the military is building a massive complex under the ballroom.
Why would you tell the world that?
We're doing very well. So we're ahead of schedule. That's part of it. And the ballroom essentially becomes a shed
so
for what's
stupid,
being built
man.
under the military, including from drones and including from any other thing. The glass...
You know what that bunker is not going to protect him from? Photos of him dressed in a dress with little girls being leaked from Iran and our other enemies. That bunker will not protect you from that, Donald. There is more than one type of weapon of mass destruction.
The windows, you see the big windows. The glass is extremely thick. It's high-grade bulletproof glass, so all of the windows are bulletproof.
He's giving them the
I think the
specs.
Times wrote, gee, some of the windows are fake. We have no fake windows. They said, they talked about a stairway in the South. We don't have a stairway in the South. That was replaced a long time ago.
Now, there were some additional clips of Air Force One where he then tried to be like, well, Can we just talk about the ballroom right now? I just think it's easier if we just talk a lot about this and we don't talk about the war, because for Donald Trump, talking about the ballroom is like a safe space for him, right? He knows this war is catastrophic and he's in denial about just how bad it is. So he's like, could we talk about like the Corinthian columns, everybody? And again, this is someone with deep paranoia who's in a deep state, in my opinion, of cognitive and physical deterioration. Let's play this clip as he go, I just want to do this now. I thought it would be easier. Here, play this clip.
Here's another one. Wait, excuse me, wait. I thought I'd do this now because it's easy.
She asked him about the question about Iran, and he switches it to the ballroom.
I'm so busy that I don't have time to do this. But I'm fighting wars and other things. But this
You
is very
aren't
important.
fighting a war. You're not fighting a war. Shut the fuck up.
This is going to be with us for a long time, and it's going to be, I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world.
Who the fuck needs a ballroom right now? Like, is that what we need? A ballroom? Like, I don't even know, like, anybody who uses ballrooms other than elitist weirdos. Everyone else just goes out to eat at Applebee's or something.
It's its highest level. Same height, exact height, if not higher. Same height as the
The
White
fact that he honestly thinks that's getting people excited, it shows how out of touch he is.
House, exactly the same height. And if you look, you have the White House over here, you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall. So it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important.
And then Donald Trump says that about this war, he goes, everybody's saying thank you to me. Everybody is so grateful for me. Here, let's play this clip.
The weapon, they'd use it immediately. I think she's probably a little bit softer on that issue, but that's okay. Some people are. Most people aren't. Most people are saying thank you very much for doing what you did. They are decimated right now.
I just want to remind you as well that before Donald Trump left to go to Florida, when he held not just a recession, but potentially a Great Depression here,
I want to show a little bit of this one. Then
Donald
we'll move
Trump
on.
is panicking as his disastrous war in Iran continues to spiral.
This one seemed to have all the updates to get you caught up on what's actually happening. They seem to be gathering forces at in the Middle East somewhere.
Out of control. And now Donald Trump thinks that if he just throws the special forces at the catastrophic problem he created, that will solve everything. Just send the special forces to go and extract nearly 1,000 pounds of highly enriched uranium. Just put them in a country with 90 million people and see what happens. That's what Donald Trump's apparently planning. Several hundred U.S. Special Operation Forces, including Army Rangers and Navy SEALs, have just arrived in the Middle East, joining thousands of Marines and Army paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division in a...
So they've been showing a lot of like patriotic propaganda about this airborne division. They shown a women's battalion that was all women paratroopers. I know it sounds insane, but I think they're about to try to do a air assault on Karg Island. I think he's going to try to have the 82nd Airborne shoot into that place, and dude, it would be a disaster if that's what they try to do. But I think that's what he's going to do. He's thinking like he's going to create his own action movie or some shit. They did it with Venezuela.
Deployment meant to give Donald Trump additional options to expand the current month-long disastrous war in Iran, with planning underway for possible ground invasions. This is being reported by the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, reporting how Trump is weighing a military operation with these special forces to extract nearly 1,000 pounds of highly enriched uranium from at least 2 sites in Iran. A very complex and risky...
So this is important. This is kind of where we're at in this war right now. Supposedly there's 2 different sites where there's stockpiles of enriched uranium. I was trying to look into and like where this uranium came from. Like, did they develop it? Were they developing it for nuclear energy? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not real educated on that shit. But they want to go in and get it. Like, so they're gonna have to cordon off the area wherever it is, and then load it up safely. It would be a major operation, but that seems to be the focus of the war right now for whatever fucking reason. Getting this enriched uranium out of there.
Mission that would likely put hundreds of American ground forces inside the country for days, if not longer. But all of this would be expected to have this war drag on for months and months and months. While all of this is taking place, as Donald Trump has sent now tens of thousands of additional troops with Marine Expeditionary Units to Iran, with the USS Tripoli arriving there on Friday, Donald Trump called up the Financial Times and gave an interview where he said the following things. I want to seize all of Iran's oil. To be honest with you.
Okay, right off the bat, I want to seize all of Iran's oil. It's called a war of aggression or conquest, and it's a crime against humanity. I don't know why nobody's talking about that. NATO, but this entire war has been full of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and I would love to see the rest of the world hold us responsible for it.
Trump said, my favorite thing is to take their oil. That's my favorite thing, to take all of the oil of Iran. So what Donald Trump said. He also said that he's considering taking Karg Island, Iran's main oil export hub. So considering a mission with special forces to extract 1,000 pounds of highly enriched uranium, also taking Karg Island. What could possibly go wrong, everybody? He compares Iran to Venezuela, saying U.S. could control the oil in Iran indefinitely like we're doing in Venezuela. Trump.
See, this is a big divide between, I think, me and liberals and I don't know if it's Republicans or MAGAs or what, but I don't want to go take another nation's resources. I don't want to be that country. Like, I don't want to live in a country that is tyrannical towards the rest of the world. I don't want to. This idea that just because you have a more powerful military, you should take things from your neighbors. It's despicable, and it's going to lead us all to our doom. I thought we understood that at one time. But you have these MAGAs that seem to celebrate this idea of like, yeah, we need to go and take it. If they can't defend it, they don't have a right to have it. And that's like Russian tyrant, fascist bullshit. That's like, but that seems to be where we're at, where he's straight up saying, I want to come take your resources. And very few seem to have a problem with it.
Claims Iran has no real defense anymore. I don't think they have any defense. We could take care of it all very easily. It would be done very, very easily. He said that it would require an occupation, but he says he's got the appetite for it. He says it would also mean we'd have to be there for a while. And he says that MAGA supports that. MAGA's happy when Donald Trump goes to war in the Middle East, he claims. Trump claims the scale of bombing is that we've already bombed 13,000 targets. We've got about 3,000 targets left. Well, we've learned that a lot of these targets are targets where Iranian civilians live. Of course, we know about Manab, where there were 165 little girls who were murdered by American tomahawks. But we also
that right there is a crime against humanity. That one assault.
Talked earlier yesterday about a gym, not the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps facility down the block, but there was a gym in Iran that was attacked by the United States where dozens of people.
All right, so I want to get moving on past the Iran shit because I got some other stuff I wanted to do that's a little lighter. But the last thing I want to say is Trump's trying to say that they're in negotiation with the Iranians and that they're close to a deal. He was trying to manipulate the market again. He wanted the market to chill out. Iranian generals issued statements saying there are no negotiations, and they've given their demands to even start peace talks. And so their demands are they want to be paid full reparations for all of this damage, which Trump's not going to do that. They want promises that Israel and the United States is not going to bomb them again. Like they want to treat signed assurances. And they want what was the other thing? They want the United States to have no control over oil through the Strait of Hormuz. So full reparations. Do you see Trump doing that? No. Well, they're not going to negotiate then. That's just to start talking. They want full reparations, and I don't fucking blame them. All right, let's get to my main story here. This was a story I came across, I think last week, mainly because this girl that does this YouTube channel's cute, Melina Tessie, and it's about Whoa Vicky, this internet celebrity, kind of known for internet drama and bullshit. Well, she ended up in Nigeria, and I'm gonna just let it play. It was just a really weird situation. There is kind of a conclusion to it that I'll mention at the end of these videos, but Whoa Vicky's kind of funny as it is, so it's entertaining. But she did, in my opinion, seem to get herself in a dangerous situation here. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start playing it. Here we go.
Oh yeah. July 19th was the day I found out I was black. Went viral because I told people I was black.
Vicky was allegedly being trafficked.
Whoa Vicky is being held against her will.
Human trafficking looks a lot like what's happening to Whoa Vicky.
Stuck out here in Africa again.
Why I think this story is important is because it gives a new spin on this idea of human trafficking. Human trafficking isn't always done with violence and there's a type called finessing, and basically they get you in a situation where you can't get out of it, and that seems to be what happened with her. And social media, money coming off the internet. Whoa Vicky makes a lot of money online. It seemed to be like they were using her for that, and that's a kind of trafficking also. These people will be able to well, there is an update, Broken Hip. I want to give it at the end. But there is an update on the Whoa Vicky thing. But there's more than one type of human trafficking, and these little internet personalities seem to be part of it. There's a guy that runs I believe it was Whoa Vicky, Little Tay, Little Tay, and it does seem to be predatorial. Let's get into it.
What's up, y'all? I am so sorry. I apologize for trolling y'all like that.
I got Vicky. You guys.
There's an update.
She's with me. She's not going nowhere.
I don't think this is a stunt. I don't think this is a joke.
Holy shit! I didn't know Ursula was covering the Whoa Vicky thing. That's crazy, man.
I actually think that she needs our help.
There is something seriously wrong with Whoa Vicky, and many people
I think this girl's kind of cute. I don't know why.
believe she's being trafficked right before our eyes. Y'all, I can't believe I'm making this video, but one day I was on TikTok and went down the rabbit hole of Whoa Vicky, which left me so
It is a hell of a rabbit hole.
concerned for her and the random children around her, because in some of her videos she had this little boy around, and then in one of her lives you could hear him screaming for his life in the background, and we can only assume what was being done to him. I don't think Whoa Vicky is trolling. I think something is seriously going on here, and we need to take her seriously. However, I know many people won't because of her problematic past. The more I dug into her story, the creepier it gets. She started off looking like a clout goblin, just pranking people for views. And then
she called her a clout goblin. Looking like a clout goblin.
quickly turned into something deeply concerning. So I'm going to tell you everything that has happened up until now. However, there's just so much more that I don't think I could fit into this video. I don't think I need to do an introduction to Whoa Vicky because I'm sure a lot of you guys know who she is.
I got two videos I'm going to show. If you don't know Wojcicki, she was just kind of one of those early internet celebrities that went big, and it was because like her thing was saying that she was black. Like her mom's like, "You ain't black, you're a white girl," and she'd be like, "No, it's like I'm black." And I don't know why, but back in those days, people would become famous for dumb shit, and she did become famous for it, kind of like a lol cow. Bad Baby is one I would compare it to, but Bad Baby actually has talent as a rapper, so.
She started on social media by basically rage baiting and pretending to be black.
Yes, my birthday is March 7th, but July 19th was the day I found out I was black. Like,
Is that Juneteenth? June 19th? That's Juneteenth, right?
my whole entire life, my mom can
Dude, that's kind of funny. When I got ambushed in that UFO Twitter space earlier, Wiener Deacon blurted out that I wished I was black.
you're white. I never believed her because I knew I was black.
That grift gained her
She has a mom that was trying to get in contact with her and stuff.
millions of followers, and she even dabbled in music.
But her mom, they covered it in this video. Her mom seemed to kind of push her into fame anyways.
Like at some point.
Why you playing hard when you know you saw?
Only to find out there's someone behind the scenes pulling all these strings.
Why you playing
for her
hard
and
when you know you saw?
selling her around the world.
I had started going viral. It was like my ex, his family, they were like geniuses, right? They told me like say the word in one of the videos that go viral.
Okay, this is the family. There's this weird culty family, and they created a lot of internet celebrities.
So I think I'd say that in one of the videos, and then everybody was like, you know, getting mad at me. Oh, she's racist, she's racist. And they told me, oh, just tell them you're black, tell them you're mixed.
See, so they came up with the gimmick. It was their idea. A bunch of black people, bro. Told her, like, just say you're black. People will think it's funny.
So then I did that, and then, you know, I was only 17, I was a kid, and I'm like, that, like, whatever goes viral.
So now you don't, obviously.
Yeah, no, I took that word out of my vocabulary.
In 2024, Wojcicki...
Did you hear, just for the record, she said she took the word out of her vocabulary. She was 17, she grew up, and kind of left the I'm a gangster thing behind.
He was involved in a human trafficking scandal when a weird post popped up on her Twitter account stating, "I have kidnapped Vicky. She's with me in Nigeria. I am demanding $1 million for her release." Then, moments later, she admitted to faking her own kidnapping.
What's up, y'all?
So this started a lot of these, the real speculation. It's because when you put something like, they said it was from him. I got her kidnapped. I'm demanding $1 million for her. Dude, they're in Nigeria, of all places, Nigeria. And then you immediately have her going on saying it was just a joke. Nobody freak out. It leaves the possibility open that she's being forced to say those things. Like, so you don't know which way to go at that point.
I am so sorry. I apologize for trolling y'all like that. It was just a joke. I was just trying to show everybody that in America that it's not that serious, that Africa is a very safe country. And
How does saying you just got kidnapped show people that Nigeria is a safe country?
will be safe no matter what race you are. You know,
I just got kidnapped in Nigeria. Oh, I was trying to show you all how safe Nigeria was.
Trolling because everybody was like, why would she go to Nigeria? Is she crazy? Whatever. So I just wanted to have a quick joke, but the joke kind of got carried away. And
Broken Hip, does it look like she was crying possibly there? Like at the beginning when she came on, it almost looked like she had been crying.
like, you know, stuff like that. But we love y'all. It's all good. This is my brother.
Nigeria is safe. So if you want to come to Nigeria, it's safe. Don't be scared.
Saying it was all fake, and even addressed it in a tweet saying that one of her friends suggested to pull this prank, saying they could make money and create a cryptocurrency based on the prank.
Tell them it's fake.
It's a joke. We good.
Bro, that is not a funny joke. I mean, you're at the very least you're asking for law enforcement to probably show up.
Good, we good. Everything good. Sorry about
Unless
that.
if you're in
Confessed to faking
Nigeria.
it, most people stopped taking her seriously, but her own family and friends were concerned about her and even
Yeah, Exactly. Clean yourself up and look happy. Kind of like what Keemstar would say to one of his, drama cows.
Filed police report. Even her own mother started planning a rescue mission for her.
To rescue
See?
my daughter
There's her mom. Come on, Zanny. Come on.
from Africa, but I don't want to be recognized. My daughter has been kidnapped in Africa,
See? Her mom knows, dude, that something's up.
and I have to be incognito to go get her. She's been missing for about 3 weeks.
Oh, whoa, Vicky. Yeah, her hair is really pretty.
And I'm really concerned and I'm really upset. And I don't want to look like,
So she's trying to get, like, I don't know, Nigerian or touristy clothes so she can sneak around and maybe get close to her.
I need to go kind of cognito to get her.
Yeah, her mom is also
and find
alarmed.
her. And they told me to dress differently.
Her mother is a whole different story because many believe she's the one who sold Vicky to the industry.
See, this is where it gets gray, though. Her mom was the one that kind of pushed her into, internet celebrity.
But we'll get there. Whoa, Vicky even had calls for a wellness check, and every time her alleged trafficker was right next to her.
Information yesterday that you're being held against your will. Is that the case?
No, that's not the case.
He's always right there, ain't he? He's right there every time.
So of course she had to pretend that everything's okay, but people started looking into this deeper and started connecting the dots, noticing that all of her videos seemed so suspicious, as if she was being controlled and told what to say and what not to say. You can tell by this interview she did with Tasha K. She kept looking back like, am I allowed to say this? Should I not?
And I mean, who you would probably, yeah, it always seems to be the same guy. Who you would probably call and is like Interpol or something in that situation, or the U.S. Embassy. You would try to contact the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria.
Say that, I don't know. And Tasha K was like, why do you constantly have to get confirmation from whoever's back there?
I noticed you keep looking back at your
This one really stuck out to me.
your friend.
Oh yeah, like a few times.
Why?
Probably just what I was talking about. He know about it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you need reassurance?
No.
The odd thing is that before she went to Nigeria, she was acting completely different. She started talking about Jesus, saying she turned her life around, and it really looked like she was finally doing better.
What's up, y'all? My name's Victoria, but you probably know me as Well Vicky. I'm not.
Oh, there is a group. There's one video where she's playing pool, and they're all like, look, she's playing pool. She can go anywhere. And there's a bunch of them.
I'm not a baddie. I'm a woman of God. Y'all probably see me on the internet.
Did you see her say she's not a baddie, she's a woman of God? I'm gonna rewind it.
Reassurance?
No.
No.
The odd thing is that before she went to
There's a
Nigeria,
group.
she was acting completely different. She started talking about Jesus, saying she turned her life around,
What's up,
and it
bro?
really looked like she was finally doing better.
What's up, y'all? My name's Victoria, but you probably know me as Well Vicky. I'm not a baddie. I'm a woman of God. Y'all probably see me on the internet before for maybe some of my old videos. The difference between my
She is pretty, huh?
old personality and me now is that I'm mature and I'm more into Jesus.
But then why all of a sudden she's talking about trafficking and she's covered in bruises? Sometimes you'll see her lip busted, and most of all, you could just tell in her eyes
Oh,
that something is
shit.
clearly wrong.
Right, dude, right there, man. Her lip was busted.
And me now is that I'm mature and I'm more into Jesus.
But then why all of a sudden she's talking about trafficking and she's covered in bruises? Sometimes you'll see her lip busted, and most of all, you could just tell.
Yeah, dude, look, she's got a bruise on her cheek, her jawline, and her lip. She was definitely assaulted. I would almost put it at like 99%. Unless, yeah, look, dude, someone punched her. It's right in the jaw, her jawline up to her lip.
In her eyes that something is clearly wrong, but she just can't say anything about it. However, she leaves a lot of clues in her lives, and her audience has picked up on that. For example, when she's going live,
Yeah, it's really sad, man. And she's running like a whole, like, online career with all this right under the surface.
Tell her, touch your hair or wear a certain.
Okay, this is important. This is also when I really started taking notice. People in the chat started telling her to, like, do this if you're being held against your will. And she would do it every fucking time. Watch this shit.
In her eyes that something is clearly wrong, but she just can't say anything about it. However, she leaves a lot of clues in her lives, and her audience has picked up on that. For example, when she's going live, they will tell her, touch your hair or wear a certain color in the next video if you're in danger, and every single time Vicky responds back by touching her hair, wearing that said color, which clearly entails she's trying to signal something is wrong. For example, someone told her to wear.
See, she was looking over her shoulder to make sure the captors weren't monitoring the chat.
A red dress in the next video if she's in danger, and she wore a red dress 3 times after. Another time someone says point to your neck if you're in trouble, and she does. Every time someone in her comments tells her to
see the hair thing, she's always kind of playing with her hair, so you could kind of argue that one. But her doing this, come on. Either she's trying to troll the internet in a very despicable manner, or she's really being held against her will. That's the only 2 possibilities.
Signal if she needs help. Vicky responds immediately by making those gestures, which makes people believe she's not able to speak about it, but she is trying to subliminally send alerts. Now, Wo Vicky's first alleged captor is named Aboki Torjar. He's a popular Nigerian content creator, and there's a video of them pretending to get married where you can see her visibly look uncomfortable. And then there's another clip of him.
What I think she's uncomfortable about is she doesn't know how real this ceremony is. Like, you're in Nigeria. She's thinking, am I actually marrying this fucker right now? Like, what is this?
And basically telling Vicky exactly what to say in her videos, and she just follows along.
I don't want to go back.
I don't want to go back.
To American.
To American.
So, American people, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
American people.
Say bye-bye.
American people, bye-bye.
American people, bye-bye.
It begs the question,
what that seems to be is he's building videos that he can use as a defense later. Like, see, she didn't want nothing to do with all y'all.
Are these captors the ones making her post all these responses and apologies to make it seem like it's all fake or a prank? So that way
Because I imagine they're having to do something to divide her off from her mom, probably, too.
one takes her seriously, and they can continue profiting off her views. Because why is she constantly having to assure her audience that she's safe? Everywhere she goes in all of her videos, people are like, she's safe, look at Vicky, she's doing fine, she's safe, she's having fun.
Nigerian.
Why?
Yeah, she's okay, guys. She did
Here it
tell
is.
the guy with the phone.
This is the video I was talking about where, since she's playing pool with all these scary motherfuckers, she's obviously free.
Stop reading chats. I'm not going to stop reading. I'm always going to read. But she doesn't interact through lives anymore.
And one thing I noticed, this wanker's like telling her what to do even while she's playing pool. Like, well, Vicky doesn't know how to play pool. She's been around the hood and stuff.
She's interacting. She's just busy. Tell the people hi. So, see, she interacts.
Okay. He told her what the fuck, dude? They're
free Vicky.
Free Vicky.
Vicky's free. Look at her right now. She's enjoying herself.
Someone in the chat said free Vicky, and he reacted. He went, she's free. She's enjoying herself.
She's living her life. You understand? You understand? She's living her life. You understand? But we control with good reason.
He just said, we control with good reason. Did you hear that?
Because over here, it's different than America.
Hey.
She is free. She's here at her own free will. What's her name? Wonafula. So her name is not Vicky.
And in all these videos, there's someone right.
They changed her name. Onafola. It's not Vicky anymore. Her name is Onafola.
next to her, making sure she's saying the right thing, or someone beside her that we can't see and she's looking over to make sure that she's saying what they directed her to say. It's just odd behavior.
A lot of people started to notice that when she tried to.
Man, I had no idea Ursula was covering this story. That's so crazy, dude. I had no clue that Ursula was in on the Whoa Vicky thing.
End the live, the lights turned off, and it was 3 hands reaching for her phone. I don't think this is a stunt. I don't think this is a joke. I actually think that she needs our help. Because what I'm thinking is that she's telling these guys that, oh, let me just go on the internet so people think I'm okay because, you know, I'm an influencer. A lot of people know
Oh no, Floka? I could ask Rock.
me. But I think she's trying to throw in subliminals like, I need help.
Shortly after the Nigerian debacle, she was seen with another man in Kenya. She's in a sketchy area surrounded by a bunch of men. Everywhere she goes, it's like they're passing her around to another trafficker, and all of these videos are just so awful.
Yeah, that's one of the other things that's been creepy about it is she's gotten kind of moved around.
Somehow she's putting on a brave face and smile, but you could just tell.
Dude, she is a tough girl, man. Like, to be able to put on a face, like, and yeah, she's tough. Tough as nails.
There's just something not right here. So I started to wonder, how did Whoa Vicky get here in the first place? And that's when I found out that Vicky had allegedly worked with human traffickers in the past. Not only that, her own mom sent her off to live with the Jenkins family when she was 17 years old, and they are the ones who helped her get famous. The Jenkins family are a whole other can of worms that I'm not going to get into right now, but they worked with people like Bad Baby, Malu, and Lil Tay. People have a
The Jenkins family. They created little internet celebrities. And yeah, it's supposedly like a kind of like a Nexium situation, a fame cult is what you would call it. What Keemstar has going on Lawcow.
alleged that they are in a cult, but again, that rabbit hole is too deep to get into right now.
When I was 17 years old, I met this family, right? They had guys and girls. But I'm like, it's 5. Like, I love how they like family oriented. It was 7 of them. And they're kind of like taking me in for a little bit. And
She's funny, dude.
and that was just like 5, because I got to experience like how life is when you do
The way
Jesus.
she would talk is funny to me.
Like, that's the only way that works. So, you know, after I fell out with them, I kind of tried to do things my own way. How do you feel like they impacted my life?
They impacted your life in a very positive way.
See, her mom defends that creepy ass family because they're the ones who helped her blow up on the internet.
I remember the first time I met them. What a big family, too. I was like, really? And Victoria wasn't even there. And they came to Helen, Georgia, where I live. And
Look at Vicky's face as her mom's describing how lovely these people are. And she's reliving all the horrible shit probably in her mind.
we got together. They had helped you in the beginning, and then you had to experience and grow and do your own thing. And then when it all came back to you, it was some of their ways. Had a very special way to do you and take you in like that.
Amen. It took me in.
They did.
Now, you said
She was 17. Why did she need taken in? Like, her mom sent her off basically to a fame camp. It'd be like if someone sent their 17-year-old off to like Keemstar's fat camp or something. It's like they're gonna make a lawcow out of my kid.
that you wanted people to see the real you. What were they seeing before?
Just like, I just want to like let them get to know like the real me, you know. I don't want them thinking I'm actually like crazy like that, you know. A lot of the stuff I did, it wasn't really me. It was like people in my ear, you know.
I can dig that, whoa, Vicky. I can feel that. I think that happens to me a lot.
So I want to just like let them see like that's not me, and I'm really like, you know, just a cool person, you know all that stuff. You know, it is what it is.
It is
These
what
people
it
that
is.
were in your ear, what happened to those people? Are they still part of your circle? Are they still around? Did you cut these people off? What happened?
Well, yeah, they not there no more.
In 2023, Whoa Vicky was invited to join Baddies East, a reality TV show known for drama, altercations, and connections to
Alright, after this, I'm gonna switch to the other video. She went on this show. I don't know if you ever saw the Bad Girls Club, but it was a spin-off of that, and they promised her she wouldn't get in any fights, and then they set her up, which I can feel that also, you assholes on UFO Twitter.
the popular show Bad Girls Club, and one of the executive producers from that show was Natalie Nunn. And at first, Vicky denies the offer because that show is known for fighting, and she just didn't want to get into fights. However, they reassured Vicky that she wouldn't have to get into fights and that it really wasn't like that. So she agreed to go on the show.
Really
when the
wasn't
show
like
finally
that.
aired, it showed that Whoa Vicky did actually end up getting beat up by Krishan Rock for preaching about Jesus, and that just didn't sit well with them, so they ended up jumping her. Vicky left with bruises and cuts all over her face.
My homeboy, he want to pray for you. Are you down?
That's it, girl. You like
That's
crazy.
silly?
Bro, say it on a better time, bro. Better note.
They
I don't
beat
play
her
with
up.
goofies like you.
I bet for sure. God bless you.
Yo, she want to get hit again. I don't think she got hit enough.
So you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with trafficking? Well, Baddies is connected to Zeus Network, which have been accused multiple times in the past for being forced to sleep with men, and especially Natalie Nunn allegedly has been known to recruit young girls to go to Nigeria. One of the victims spoke out, stating she was only 16 years old when Natalie promised her she would become a big star if she went to Nigeria.
And that basically we were going to network and meet these people in Nigeria. You could become a bigger star in
what
Nigeria,
the
better
fuck?
than the United States, to get more money. That's what she was telling. There was like 3 guys in my deck. And Natalie left the room with the main one, who was like the big baller. I did what I did with the guy. He gave me the rest of the money after.
That's a human trafficking ring, right? Like, there's no other way to put it.
And so, had you ever sold yourself for money before that?
No.
So around the time Whoa Vicky was on Baddies, she was trying to expose the industry, Hollywood, and what really goes on behind the scenes.
Let me tell you, what they do is they invite you to these parties, these house parties.
Oh,
They
shit.
might
She's talking about the sell your soul Diddy parties.
do some gay shit to somebody and record it and tell them,
Dude, I've talked about that. That's what selling your soul is they get you on camera doing gay shit. She even said some gay shit. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. A lot of the rappers have spoken about this. And a lot of the rappers participate in it, including Snoop Dogg.
Vicky was on Baddies, she was trying to expose the industry, Hollywood, and what really goes on behind the scenes.
let me
Source,
tell you, what they
50
do
Cent.
is they invite you to these parties, these house parties. They might do some gay shit to somebody and record it and tell them, oh, if you expose us, we gonna post it everywhere.
So if Baddies was used as a trafficking ring,
So
that could
crazy.
explain why she ended up in Nigeria after she went to the police and pressed charges for getting beat up on the show.
I start Googling the show. I'm like, oh, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be fighting. I told the producer. But the producer hit me with, you can
So, like, she was trying to make better decisions for her life. She was even turning down projects that she knew were, and Hollywood fame pulled her back in.
leave whenever you want. We try and switch it up, make it more positive. It's not all about fighting. You don't got to fight. And they paying me up front. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. I'll just go in this show and show the love of Jesus. And I told them specifically, I did not come here to fight. I made that
I
very
just go on this show and show the love of Jesus.
clear. But next thing you know, they're like, everyone out the shot. We only need Vicky in the shot. So I'm back by myself, and I'm saying, Jesus loves you. So Krishan looks at me and said, do this B want to get slapped too? Then boom, next thing you know, one of her lagoons she brought to the show come running up and hits me in the head. I black out, and I really don't remember. Only thing I remember after that is security guards breaking it up. So all the girls on the show come running up to me talking about, are you okay? I'm like, why they keep asking me that? I'm standing up. Like, no, I'm not hurt. I'm thinking they just doing this for the cameras, trying to make themselves look good. So the adrenaline start wearing off, and I start realizing my toe bleeding, my knee bleeding, I got a scratch on my face, a bump on my head. So after that, I play it cool, right? I go back to my hotel. The next day, I wake up, Uber to the police station, file the police report on all of them,
and get my flight and get the freak out of Maryland.
Ever since,
dude, that's the way to handle it. She handled it like a fucking professional. They lied about the project. They put her in a dangerous position. Yeah.
then she has been seen in all of these different countries, seemingly being held against her will and just being shipped around. A few months ago, she randomly titles all her lives on YouTube, "Help, I'm in Brazil, danger." But then a few weeks later, she was back in Miami and a lady saw her having an encounter with her alleged trafficker.
I'm in Miami, I'm in my car, I'm about to leave Starbucks.
All right, after this,
I hear a girl yelling for help, and I look in my rearview mirror and I see this girl sprinting for her life with this big bag on her back, just running through the parking lot. Shortly after, I see a guy chasing her. So I don't play that.
It's Whoa Vicky. This lady saw Whoa Vicky. And she got chased down by probably that Nigerian guy, and the police even came, and of course they did nothing because police are worthless most times. And yeah. All right, let's get to this other video here. I think this other one was moved a little faster. Oh shit, did I not? I might not have saved it. Oh, I think I did lose it. Give me 1 second. I should be able to remember which one it is. Actually, I could go to my history, couldn't I? I'm learning. Dude, there was a hilarious RP video with, okay, here it is. Sloan. I like this guy.
Human trafficked across the world. Today we're gonna go through all the evidence that Whoa Vicky needs to be saved, so let's get into it.
So this is Sloan on YouTube. This is his spin on it.
I want to talk to you guys about a serious matter because there's a good chance that influencer Whoa Vicky is being human trafficked. Now we know Whoa Vicky from her clout online and the schemes that she does to go get viral, but in recent years it seems like she's been placed in a compromising situation. And today I want to go through all the signs that Whoa Vicky is not okay. To give you guys some context, Whoa Vicky
you talking
did have
about
a human trafficking, kidnapping.
Are you talking about Blueface's old lady? I could do something on that.
Scandal go down because she went to go visit Nigeria.
Yeah, Sloan's cool.
And she actually admitted to faking her own kidnapping on social media for attention.
I think tomorrow night's episode might be on the Jelly Roll. I got updates on Jelly Roll. I got some videos from him. And I think we're going to do the whole saga tomorrow. I don't know how well it'll do on views, but we'll see. I knew tonight probably wasn't going to do very good either.
Obviously, that's a really
because people, dude, most of the people, I post my link to the video, and this kind of sucks because all my views come from Twitter, and I'll do my whole show, and when I go back, it'll only like spread to like 40 people, so it's like, dude, that's why nobody knows I'm live.
Disturbing and almost illegal thing to go and do. So
yeah, he's a fancy boy.
After she admitted to faking her kidnapping, a lot of people did not take her seriously.
We kind of got carried away with the joke, you know? We just like to have fun and joke, you know? I don't drink or go to the club.
Well, and her captors would know that would cause people to not take her seriously if she started talking about it again. So yeah, why wouldn't they do something like that?
So this is how I find my entertainment. You know, it's probably not the best way to do it. I should probably be like reading the
Did he really? Are there videos about it?
Bible or something like that.
Does he talk about it?
You know, you want to have a little fun. The Bible says laughter is good for the soul. Fun. I be wanting to laugh, and this is how I find that funny.
Even though Whoa Vicky said that this was a joke, a lot of people were still concerned about her well-being even after coming home.
Look at his house, dude. It's fancy.
from Africa. Vicky does a lot of live streams, and in one of her live streams, she talks about needing help. People took this as a sign of her trying to tell her audience that she needs this help, but not trying to be too obvious, because you'll notice a lot of times Whoa Vicky is followed by some men. She always has these men following her, making sure she's
It's not a lot of times. It seems to be all the time.
Doing what she's supposed to do. So like I said, in this video, we have a lot of signs that there could be something going on here, and you really have to pay close attention, because what if she can't tell us what's really happening?
Oh shit.
Taking this braids out.
Dang, that sucks, man. That's sad.
And they have taken the braids out.
Dude, he's got 1.2 million subscribers, so it's not like he really needs anybody. He could make a living doing this.
That's all I need help with.
That's all you need help with, Whoa Vicky? Because if you take a better look at this video, you'll see people in the comments are bringing up that she's covered in bruises. Another person asked, is no one going to call the cops? Like, are we all seeing this and just waiting for the next...
Look at that. Is no one gonna call the cops? Like, what? Dude, that's a really bad situation. If she was on UFO Twitter doing this, nobody would ever call for help because you're not allowed to help people.
Post. Like, where do we start? How do we help? Other creators have caught wind that something is
You would get canceled for calling for help for Vicky on UFO Twitter.
With Whoa Vicky, and other TikTokers have noted different moments where it seems like Whoa Vicky is signaling to her followers that there's something more there. The question is,
you've been watching him that long since he was back, like,
could be happening. I mean, Whoa Vicky has money. She's an influencer. I mean, I don't know if she spent it all, but you know, you'd think that she's relatively successful. Could they be kind of using her and exploiting her in a Britney Spears manner? Though, what are they forcing her to do exactly?
Whoa Vicky is 100% being trafficked. The signs are all there, even though they might not be obvious to you, but it
Hey, that girl's pretty.
is obvious to me.
So are we just gonna ignore the fact that a girl said to Vicky, wear red in your next video if you...
Yeah, she's in Nigeria. That's kind of what I said too. The State Department or the United States Embassy there, Interpol.
Need help, and she shows up wearing...
Her mom was trying to go. I have an update. I'll give it at the end.
a red dress 3 times after that comment.
In one of her lives, a person from the chat allegedly asked to point
I mean, it's not much of an update, but it's an update.
her neck if she needed help, and this was her response.
This comment reads, how can she play that over and over and they not get suspicious? It is an interesting song from Doechii. Like, I have anxiety, they're watching over me. It kind of speaks to what we think Whoa Vicky could be experiencing. This blind item reads, there's been a nasty accident in Hollywood and someone will have to pay up. The issue is nobody wants to take responsibility per usual. But that's not the case anymore because with Morgan & Morgan, regular people are finally winning.
Alright, I'll just go ahead and say it. I checked on Grok, and Grok is X's AI program. It searches the entire internet. And according to Grok, Whoa Vicky has released at least one video from Miami, Florida. So according to recent reports, she is back in the United States, but it isn't like fully verified. I couldn't find a video or anything, so yeah.
Too. They are the largest injury law firm in America with over 1,000 attorneys and offices across.
Because the most recent video I show was from a month ago. I think the Maria one was from a month ago, and yeah, so I did a quick search on Grok. Now I don't know how credible that is. Yeah, I mean but I asked what's that based on, and I thought it said she had gone live.
The country ready to...
I should have screenshotted the Grok. Actually, I could go over on my account and show it.
fight for you if you end up working with them. In the entertainment industry, these stars have a full team to manage them. Why shouldn't you? Plus, they've been doing this for over 35 years and recovered $25 billion for people just like
I called Dog the Bounty Hunter. He go get anybody, man.
you. One of their clients was offered a measly $350,000 from an insurance company. Morgan & Morgan got them $12 million. And these aren't rare stories. This is what they do. What makes it even better is how easy it is. Where in 2025, people, Morgan & Morgan doesn't make you deal with the paperwork or
Oh no, man, help me though. Help me, please. Please pray for me. Give me some encouraging words.
What your daughter was doing in Nigeria. I just thank God that I made it out alive. No cap.
Wait, where's that one taken?
For real.
made it out alive of Nigeria, the place where you said you were kidnapped, but then that you were joking that you were kidnapped.
See?
Vicky broke down on live crying. At this point, it's starting to get concerning. Someone posted this picture. You could see it looks like...
I think she might be back in the United States. There might be reported, but she's being deceptive about what happened. Let me see when this one was posted. This one was 7 months ago. The Maria one was a month ago.
Bruises on her face. And this is a picture of her like breaking down while she was on live. She ended the live crying. It's like she is forced to
This
say...
reminds me of like Amy Bradley, like the woman who was like taken from the cruise ship and now she's like living abroad and like it's, I mean, well, we think that she's living abroad. Nonetheless, it's just pretty creepy. You could go to these countries and be trafficked and completely wiped of your identity.
that everything is okay.
Oh yeah, especially if you're agreeing to do little marriage ceremonies and shit. Like, you might end up with a new name and not even know what it is.
A lot of people have concerns that she only goes live if she's like getting a service done.
Yeah.
That her energy seems really off in the podcast that
Yeah.
she did, and that somebody was in the
So we pretty much got the story of that. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the jelly roll thing now since we got time. People seem to like the jelly roll story. And I got a video that it gives the complete story. So it should be kind of good if I can get over there. This fucking jelly rollover in WWE, they put him over on an up and coming real wrestler. They're trying to make like a WWE wrestler out of this guy.
5 or 6
so
years ago,
it's been kind of on my radar. I'm just gonna show a few of these funny videos because we got time. I came up short on my time. This one's kind of funny, so watch this shit. This is about the Rapture and the recent crazies saying that the Rapture is coming. This is Savannah Marie's channel, Savannah Marie on YouTube. She's funny.
I get the feeling that this isn't going to be the last time we talk about this, guys. Yes, the rapture, the non-biblical event that so many Christians believe will happen, and we keep hearing rumors of it being tossed around constantly. Last year, during the months of September and October, this was a huge topic of conversation online. We had people sharing how they're preparing to be whisked away into the sky to be with their Lord and Savior. People selling their worldly possessions, such as their cars, and all around chaos surrounding.
You see people selling their cars, man. Well, you don't need the car anymore. We're about to get raptured.
The seemingly mass psychosis event.
He didn't take me. He was supposed to take me. September 22nd came and went, and I'm still here like the rest of you.
I prayed, I fasted, I was ready.
She said, I'm still here like the rest of you heathens.
Well, it's March 2026, and we're all still here. Even some of these people who disappeared out of embarrassment after the Great Rapture of 2025 didn't happen, they came back too, and they're all going off about the Rapture again. You may have seen my coverage about that last year, but in case you haven't, I guess I just need to let you guys all know that while, yes,
Wait, you said people took pets to shelters? Wouldn't you want to be holding your pet? Like, dude, if I'm getting raptured, Zanny is going with me. Like, I'm going like this. That's insane, man. People took him to the shelter? What a bunch of shitty pet owners.
Need to know that it's not my intention to make this video about bashing Christians. You should also know that I was raised in a very religious family, and I continued on throughout.
Yeah, if you're raised in a religious family, you're allowed to bash Christians. And I was. I was raised Pentecostal. Yeah, exactly. I ain't going if Zanny can't go.
Out my mid to late 20s as a devout follower of Christ. I joined an adult fellowship that I found on my own, and I stuck with that for a few years. I spent all of my spare time just like sitting on the patio reading my Bible and listening to Bible study CDs and stuff. So I was a true believer, and obviously, you know, people are gonna question that no matter what. But now, however, I am deconstructing from Christianity. Even though I would say that I actually...
That means she's having fractures in her faith. That's kind of a fragile place to be mentally.
left the
Yeah,
belief
it is.
system like 5 or 6 years.
She's cool, dude. She has a bunch of good videos on Savannah Marie on YouTube.
Years ago. I say I'm still deconstructing because I honestly think I'm going to be deconstructing from this for my entire life. Because this stuff was very
You have to deconstruct when you get off UFO Twitter.
deeply
I've tried to leave and I've made it a few weeks and you start to feel different.
ingrained within me since the day I was born, and it's not easy to undo. But please know I'm not like actively trying to offend anybody, and trust me when I say I completely understand the mindset that most of these people are in. With all of that being said,
I think what happens is you have all that, like, a lot of your brain space is being used up by meaningless bullshit when you're engaged in an online community like UFO Twitter. And once you cut it free and actually for good and start to stop thinking about it, it frees up your brain and you feel better. You can focus on things that actually matter.
I want to give a brief overview of what the rapture supposedly
It's a
is.
cyber
I
cult.
went through this in detail when I covered this stuff like 6 months ago, so feel free to go watch that if you have any more questions, because I did go deeper into it than I will
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced it's a reincarnation system too.
in this video. But long story short, the rapture basically comes down to personal interpretation, and it has spread through word of mouth, basically. This may surprise you, but the rapture actually isn't biblical, although there are some Christians out there who will cherry pick verses out of the Bible to try to say that it is. When looking at those verses in context, it's very clear that it's not referring to the event that these people are trying to say that it does. Just know that every single Christian is going to tell you something different when you ask them about the end times. Anyway, the rapture will...
I bet a lot of them take it from that movie series Left Behind. That's what they're imagining. Like, I bet when my grandma pictures the rapture, she's thinking Left Behind.
allegedly happen as follows. Jesus is going to show up in the clouds surrounded by trumpet playing angels. As the trumpets sound, all of the believers on earth, including those who have already died, are going to fly up into the sky to meet Jesus, which will trigger the beginning of the end times, leaving the rest of us heathens here to experience the Great Tribulation.
Heathens.
This specific event is called the rapture. Now, biblically, there is supposed to be a Great Tribulation, which is just a series of
Look at her cool AI.
horrific events that leads to the Antichrist showing up and starting a new world order. And who shall we expect to come and save us from the Antichrist? Well, Jesus himself, of
Donald
course.
Trump.
So
Oh.
then the official second coming of Jesus happens, which is basically the backbone of the entire religion. This time, Jesus has an army, and they're gonna fight the Antichrist for 1,000 years. And at the end of this 1,000-year battle, which Jesus will obviously win, the earth will split open and all of the non-believers will face the judgment of Jesus. Those people will either accept Jesus as Lord and be given salvation, or be thrown into the lake of fire to burn
Or if they're MAGAs, they're fucked.
forever. After that, the earth as we know it will be destroyed, and Jesus and his followers will be given a new heaven and new earth where they can live with Jesus forever without sin. At least, That's how I was taught to understand the end times. So while the idea that Jesus is going to make a comeback and fight the Antichrist is indeed biblical, the idea that millions of people are going to fly up into the sky while the rest of us are left behind isn't biblical at all. This idea was thought up in the 1830s by this guy, John Nelson Darby, who came up with his own personal interpretation of the New Testament.
Well, okay, that image I always thought came from when Jesus's final miracle, the what they called it, the ascension, after he resurrected and he ascended into heaven. That's kind of how they described that process. So that's where I thought that idea came from, where people thought they would kind of follow that path.
And taught about this supposed rapture event to his followers. After his death, followers of Darby used his principles to reinterpret the Old Testament, and thus the Darby Bible was born, and sometimes is still referenced today. The rapture is almost exclusively tied to American evangelicalism. Most other sects of Christianity worldwide do not believe in the rapture. For the most part, it's an American
Yeah, that's true. American Christianity, I call it. Like I said, Left Behind, it seemed to a movie
thing
series.
that was invented 18 centuries after Jesus' supposed death. And honestly, it shouldn't surprise you when I say that most American evangelicals don't even read the Bible. At best, they just show up to church on Sunday and have the same stories and same verses force-fed to them over and over and over again, but they don't actually know what else is in the book outside of those few verses that they know. And because of that, you're very likely going to see comments in this very comment section on this video arguing with each other about their own personal interpretations, or saying that I'm wrong about something because that's not how they were brought up and that's not how it was taught to them. Unfortunately, naysayers are gonna say otherwise, but this is actual freaking fact. The entirety of Christianity is based on personal interpretation, and that's why there's thousands of different denominations of Christianity operating today, and they all disagree with each other about at least one thing. Anyway, this video isn't supposed to be a Bible history lesson. So now that you have a basic understanding of what the rapture supposedly is, let's get into why we're talking about it again only 6 months later from the last time we talked about it. So since we're here on this platform, I'm gonna try to keep any talk of politics to a minimum, and I'll try to keep my personal opinion out of it for the most part. However, if you've been here before, you know my stance about all of this. Unfortunately though, politics will poke its ugly little head into this video from time to time, because the people who swear that the rapture is coming for real this time, they're basing that
Yeah, I've always thought all these organized religions, it was kind of a burden on our advancement. For us to survive as a human species, we probably needed to boot it probably 50 years ago, but here we are.
prediction on current international.
It's okay to ponder where we come from and our meaning of why we're here and all that shit, and try to put it into text and make sense of things, but you can't let it control people and cause violence and
conflicts that are going on right now. To be slightly more specific without making YouTube mad at me, historians 10 years from now are going to label this current time period.
I've always thought that's what made us different from animals, is that we can ponder what happens when we die. Animals probably don't do that. I could be wrong, and that's where religion comes from, is in answering that question. And it seems to come from a phobia, the fear that there's nothing.
As 2 W's and 3 I's, if you know what I mean. Let's be honest with ourselves, that is what is happening. Historically, these events don't get labeled as what they are until further down the line, and this conflict is far from over. If you're still in denial about that, I don't know what to tell you, because many countries are involved at this point. The first video we're going to be looking at here honestly made me sick to my stomach. The blatant brainwashing, fear-mongering, and manipulation going on here honestly triggered me to my core, because it reminded me of my own grandfather. He was a pastor his entire life.
Oh shit, she grew up with a grandfather pastor. My great uncle was the pastor of our church.
has led congregations for decades all around the country. He still goes on mission trips here and there, even though he's in his late 80s. And he sends letters to the family year after year, like clockwork, around Christmas time, basically using the same language that we're gonna hear in this video, warning us that, you know, we better get right with God because Jesus is definitely coming back really soon, and, you know, he wants us to all be together in heaven. If this sounds familiar to you and you don't think that your mental health can handle it, I totally understand.
I was thinking about that the other day. You got all these Trump MAGAs, you know, pondering this shit and cramming it on everyone. I'm feeling okay with God right now. Like I've done some dumb things. I like drugs too much, but I've never really hurt anybody, and I feed the stray kitties, and I watch out for my family, and like I made the right decisions, you know, like pretty for the most part. I made some childhood mistakes, but I'm feeling okay with things. It seems like a lot of these people aren't, and that's why they're so like, you know, they're cheating on their wives, they're into kids, whatever. Like they seem to have like skeletons in the closet they're afraid that Jesus is gonna find. I really don't. Like, to be honest, I think I'm okay with judgment right now. I'd probably pass. If anyone passes, I think I'd be okay.
And you can skip ahead. I'll have YouTube have the generated chapters or whatever, and then you can scroll through the timeline and just skip this part.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're gonna get to goofy TikTokers and stuff after this. There's still more for you here. We just have to get this out of the way first. Anyway, this pastor, John Hagee, runs a mega church in San Antonio, Texas called Cornerstone Church. He live streams all of his weekly sermons, and this
Dude, I know about Cornerstone. One of my friends' dads, when we were all starting to get into trouble, he was always trying to get them to go to like, it was called Camp Cornerstone. And dude, they got a few of my buddies to go, and they came back weird. They would break their CDs and act weird for a couple months, and then they'd slowly go right back to the way they were. But
one that we're about to examine is simply called The End of Days. And he even goes so far as to have a banner behind him that just says The End of Days. And in the background, there's chaos, rubble, fire, and destruction.
Dude, those people like lingering in front is spooky to me.
Like, he is setting the mood from the get-go, making sure to manipulate his congregation from the jump, and probably scaring the ever-loving hell out of these people.
Oh, for sure, bro. There was definitely Slayer. I remember one friend specifically. It was probably like early Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, probably like all the punk rock, NoFX, Bad Religion would have been in there. But he would definitely was into Slayer. I was never a real big Slayer fan.
In the audience who are suffering from rapture anxiety, who probably have said anxiety because they listened to him in the first place anyway. Pastor Hagee says that we're approaching the end times because Israel and Iran are fighting, dishonestly leaving the US out of this conflict entirely.
As we gather here today, the headlines are screaming the message, quote, that Iran's supreme leader...
We would blast, I remember when we first started getting our license, we would get high and blast Hallowed Be Thy Name. That's that's Slayer, right? That's the only song I remember.
Orders a direct attack on Israel. The possibility of an all-out war between Iran and Israel is a very real issue.
Well, fuck, that's happening. How old is this? I mean, that is actually happening.
600 years ago, the headlines in the Bible written by the prophet Ezekiel in chapters 38 and 39 describe the condition of the Middle East right now.
Yeah, I get them mixed up. That was just never my genre of metal. I didn't like the, I don't know what you would call that, speed metal or like thrash metal. I liked more of like the hardcore bands. I think around that time I would have been in like to like Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch, I like Under Oath, Atreyu, Killswitch Engage, but that genre wasn't really my thing. And then punk rock, like Bad Religion, Anti-Flag, NoFX, yeah.
Exactly.
To justify this, he's cherry-picking Bible verses that back him up, regardless of their biblical context.
Oh, Treyu was so good, man. They're still around, I believe, but like anything, the music isn't as good as it used to be. But yeah, well, we still listen to Bad Religion.
But having an authority figure like this spout this crap off only
AFI.
gives his thousands
Yeah,
of
AFI's a totally different band now. Like, they don't sound anything like they used to. It's kind of a shame. They actually went through a few different like iterations. They called it East Coast hardcore. So, yeah, we like System of a Down too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end the stream here. There was one video I wanted to show you, and I put it in the description. There was gonna be a tad bit of wrestling involved in this one, and it's a funny video, so I think people might like it. Um, like, scroll down and find it through all this bullshit. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it up. It needs a setup, and this is in honor of Hulk Hogan, who passed away recently. The guy was kind of a piece of shit, but he did build wrestling. And Hulk Hogan, after the WCW days, he was probably like maybe 60 years old here. He wanted to do one last run in the WWE. And at the time, the guy the big name in WWE was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was in his prime, kind of near the end of his prime, but still in his prime. And when they got together to decide what they were going to do for the match, Hulk Hogan was supposed to lose because obviously you're 60 years old, Hulk. You can't beat our champion. Well, that just doesn't work for Hulk, brother. And that's why this guy was such an asshole to work with, is he would pull what they called creative control. He was such a big star that he would be like, I don't want to lose to that guy. And the back and forth promos had gotten kind of personal between him and Shawn. Shawn was making fun of him, putting on like a bald cap and acting with a walker and stuff. And Hogan got worked into his shoe. And when it came time for the big match, he didn't want to lose to Shawn. And they argued and argued, and finally they agreed, okay, Hogan, you can win. You can have your way. And Shawn was just so annoyed by the situation that he made an absolute joke of the entire match. And you just gotta watch this shit. Watch how frustrated Hulk Hogan gets during this whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and end it here in a second. If you guys haven't subscribed, go over and subscribe to the channel. I go live every night. I'll be live tomorrow night also. So, yeah, thanks for coming in. Here, let's go and get this going. It's one of my favorite wrestling videos of all time. That's why I'm a wrestling fan. It's not like it's, oh, big guys smashing each other. It's all the stories and just the politics and they call it the ring chemistry, the science of wrestling, the politics. There's so many goofy stories like this. Let's want to say after that first bump, Hulk Hogan knows right away by the way Shawn rolls all goofy. Dude, you're about to do some silly shit, aren't you? Watch how high he bounces when Hogan kicks him. He bounces purposely before he kicks him so he can't get it. And it's just he's just making a whole joke of the match. The fans, I remember watching this live and it was so obvious. Like, dude, what are they doing? And it was just Shawn clowning the guy. Watch this. That last one, the big boot, that's Hulk Hogan's big move. He does a big boot, and then he just does a leg drop. And Shawn drops down, and then flops around and gets back up and goes down again. And then Hogan hits him with the leg drop, and the match was over. Let's watch it. That look from Hogan. Like, dude, this is going to be a bad match, isn't it? Even the announcers don't know how to handle it. The impact. Here it is. So stupid looking. You can find dozens of big pay-per-view matches. Shawn never flops around like that. Another thing that's hilarious is it was either a year before this or after Shawn had a match with Ric Flair, who was about the same age as Hogan, and it went down as one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. So Shawn was known as the guy that could have an amazing match with anyone. It didn't matter how big you were. He could put on a show with anyone. Hogan was just impossible to work with. The famous line was, "That doesn't work for me, brother." That's the line that it's kind of the line he's known for. Yeah, people probably don't care for the wrestling things, but I always like to end on something goofy, and I thought that people might think that shit was kind of funny. I might show some more wrestling videos in the future. If anybody watching back later a video wants to support financially, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/TeeJay Felony. You support anonymously, just leave your name blank. You gotta put your email address in. Nobody sees that. I should be live tomorrow night again around the same time. We're probably gonna do the Jelly Roll saga. I've got a couple longer videos with that same girl telling her whole story, and she goes into details about everything. Everything that happened with her and Jelly Roll. We'll go over everything that happened on UFO Twitter. Today was kind of a shitty day on there for me, so I ain't fucking with those people today, but that's okay. We'll find our own things to talk about. If you haven't subscribed yet, go down and subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Be good to each other. Free Woe Vicky if she hasn't been freed yet. And my friend Gabe, yeah, positive vibes to Gabe. I guess his health is struggling, so I hope you're feeling better, bro. Take it easy, guys.